While this movie isn't entirely based on a true story, it's impossible to look at its publication without thinking of the Keone arson attack of 2019. At the time of this one-shot's original release in 2021, it had just reached its 2-year anniversary of the event in which a bewitched artist attacked a Kyoto-based animation studio, killing 34 and injuring another 36. That attack was one of the deadliest massacres in Japan since the end of World War II, the largest and deadliest building fire since the Myojo 56 building fire, and the first to ever occur in an animation studio associated with an entertainment company. The suspect Shinji Aoba, who did not work for the studio, entered the front door with about 40 liters of gasoline, dousing the area and several employees within it before igniting. After setting himself on fire while lighting the fuel, he attempted to flee, but was apprehended by the police about 100 meters from the location. Witnesses stated that they had heard him accusing the studio of plagiarism. The one-shot also takes from other elements of Fujimoto's life, including the small-town background that he grew up in and the not-so-subtle allusion to his popular manga series. But before the review, let me get to the drink I'm drinking so that I can talk in front of a camera. The drink this week is aloe juice. Juice from an aloe plant. 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 I will drink it now. You gotta get those nice pulpy nuggets in there. You gotta get the pulpy nuggets. The film follows Fujino, a popular and outgoing girl who is known for her funny comics, and Kiyomoto, a quiet and reclusive girl who is known for her beautiful background art. When Fujino's teacher asks her to share space with Kiyomoto, Fujino is initially jealous of Kiyomoto's talent. However, they eventually realize their shared passion for drawing and inspire each other to improve their art. Fujimoto is one of my favorite mangakas working today, and one that's able to consistently pull the rug out from under you emotionally. His work is so often focused on the indomitable human spirit, but not in like the major shonen way like saving the universe, but more like the heroism that comes from living in everyday life. Its small scale is a breath of fresh air considering Fujimoto's typical extravagant work, spending all of its time focusing on the anxieties of growing over and the complexities of mundane obsession. Of course, it maintains the awkward humor that I've come to enjoy, as well as the genuine message within the world built on subversions. It perfectly encapsulates the insecurity of associating yourself with your craft from a young age, and how fragile your love for that something can be, especially when you come across a problem you don't have the confidence to overcome. The main character, Fujino, was a wonderful lead to handle the movie, offering brevity with her confidence and her witty aneurysms. She was able to toe the line well between a character the audience is happy to root for, and a flawed individual whose selfishness puts a barrier between herself and others. There was an overwhelming sense of heart between her character and that of Kiyomoto, their relationship intersecting in ways that highlighted the complexity of a relationship based on passion for something else. It's not a secret at this point how good anime is at overt displays of emotion. When it comes to introducing someone to it, I think that's the element that they have the hardest time getting used to. But actually, none of my analysis so far has anything to do with the film as much as it does the original one-shot. Japan tends to adapt the material exactly as it's put on the page, though, so I can confidently say that Fujimoto is really still the author of this story. The animation for this film is ridiculously good, its power and color bursting off the screen with a high-octane flair that perfectly elevates the source material. There's a pattern within the current anime landscape of over-animation, which I can certainly see an issue with. At some point, it becomes distracting from the story, and it kind of disrupts my connection to the characters when there's so much going on. This film is a credit to modern animation techniques, though, because it uses the technology in a way that serves the film without getting in the way. The lighting and shadows add a wonderful layer to the animation, and the movement is so dynamic and exciting. The voice acting was also an added bonus, delivering the emotion appropriately and immersively. If I'm being honest, it wasn't a major factor in the film while I was watching it, but it connected me to the film without taking most of the spotlight. And I know I've said this before, but I will say it again. I am a massive fan of pushing the boundaries of what a film length can be. This movie comes in at 57 minutes, an exciting and refreshing amount of time. It didn't feel the need to extend its runtime for a theatrical release, and I think that's one of the greatest things that's come from the streaming era. More than ever before, the line between film and television is blurring, and we get to see projects take exactly the amount of time that they need to. It's hard for me to find anything I felt was seriously wrong with this movie. It was emotionally devastating, which is my favorite kind of film. It popped, it locked, it polka dotted. So I'm going to give this film an Oogway. So that's the end of my review. I appreciate you sticking around this long for a cheers at the end. I hope you have a drink too. I think everyone deserves a drink. So why don't we drink to drinks? But yeah. I love you.